Hey, I'm Dave Schmidt, President and CEO with the International Food Information Council in Washington, D.C. And we're pleased to be here in Cairo talking about food safety, nutrition, and food and agricultural biotechnology and the benefits it can provide to consumers, not just in the U.S., but around the world. I've followed this issue for more than 20 years in my career, and we've seen now widespread adoption in the U.S. In the form of corn and soybeans and many other crops, and pleased to be here with Dr. Martina McGloughlin with UC Davis, who's one of the world's leading experts on this topic. So I specialize more in the communications of biotechnology and consumer research, and we're sharing much of that information on our trip to Cairo. And we've learned that when consumers understand the reason for the use of agricultural biotechnology and the benefits in the ending food products, they do tend to support the technology. Even in the U.S., a minority of consumers do express concerns. There's good information, but it's very important for consumers to have good, accurate, science-based information so that they can make the right choice. But we know in order to feed the world by the year 2050, we're going to have to use agricultural biotechnology to help provide enough food to feed those on the planet. And now Dr. McGloughlin can tell us more specifically how we'll do that.
So I'm Martina Newell-McGloughlin. I'm the Director of International Biotechnology Program at the University of California, Davis. And I've been involved in the area of biotechnology for over 25 years. And as Dave said, a large part of my focus is on communicating about the science of biotechnology and also about its tremendous potential for ensuring that we can have a safe, affordable, accessible, highly nutritious food supply. As mentioned, by 2050 we're going to have 9 billion people on the planet, and it's important that we use all of the techniques at our disposal to ensure that we can introduce traits that would allow us to grow crops under ever more extreme conditions as we look at changing climates, as we look at diminishing resources, as we look at the need to use less water, the fact that we're going to have less arable land, and that we want to minimize the amount of external inputs we use to grow these crops. We already see amazing benefits from this technology, where we are using about 500 million kilograms, 500 million kilograms less chemicals to grow our crops thanks to biotechnology. We're also using a lot less land to grow these crops. We're saving over 90 million hectares of land taking this approach. So the advantage there, of course, is that if we can produce more on less, we can leave more wild spaces free, and we can ensure less impact on biodiversity using this technology. Also, because we can switch to no-till, this is far healthier for our soils as well. So we're having less erosion, we're using losing less topsoil, we are using less fossil fuels, and we have a far higher degree of sequestration of carbon dioxide. In fact, the amount of biotech products grown at this point in time allow us to prevent about the equivalent of taking 12 million cars off the road. This is the carbon dioxide that's not released into the environment. The other really important thing to focus on with the technology, with the crops that are out there right now, is to realize of the 17 or 18 million farmers that grow these crops, 90% are from less developed countries. And that's also very important because people often think it's only big industrial ag countries that benefit from this technology. But 16.5 million farmers are small farmers, less than 10 hectares, they own less than 10 hectares of land. Those are the ones that are really benefiting right now. The other important point to remind people is these crops have been thoroughly tested. So there's this myth out there that this technology is untried and untested and unsafe. It is highly regulated compared to all of the older technologies that we've used in the past. And we have about 700 peer-reviewed publications telling us that this technology is as safe, if not safer than all of our traditional methods for introducing traits into croplands. In the last almost 20 years, there's been about 2 trillion meals eaten that comprise ingredients using this approach, and there hasn't been a single documented case of any adverse effect over that period of time. So I think it's very important for people to realize just how thoroughly this is tested. Going forward, there is amazing potential for using this technology to improve the nutritional characteristics of food. And as we're looking at the whole notion of food functionality, that's just beyond merely providing nutrition, where we can look at food from the point of view of optimizing health. Biotech again offers tremendous opportunities for introducing traits to improve the nutritional characteristics of food crops. So we have a lot of potential, and we already have a lot of good products out there, and it's really important that we view biotechnology as a set of important tools that will allow us to ensure a safe, sustainable food supply with minimum impact on the environment.
Professor, you want to add something?
Well, the interesting thing about biotechnology is while there's been a lot of controversy, the adoption rates have been quite tremendous in the Americas, both North and South America, and we're starting to see increases also in Asia. And while not all of Africa has adopted the technology, we know that there's a lot of anticipation that many more countries will here, and we think Egypt is poised to adopt the technology even more broadly. So it's important that public understanding accompany the adoption, because it's too important a technology to let misinformation carry the day, and that's really why we're here, to help with some of the case examples we've had in the U.S., because we have misunderstandings in the U.S. as well, and the more that we can talk about these things in the public, in the news media, the better chance consumers have to make the right decisions with the right information. So we look forward to helping in any way we can, and wish you well with your experience here in Egypt.
Thank you.